So let's talk about Biff. So you hire Biff, and now Biff has to know about healthcare insurance. Well, that's probably got to take some classes and some competencies so he knows what he's talking about. And it's okay, good job. And now you need to know about agrochemicals. So that person, that man, that woman has to go to school a lot, don't they?
So they really don't. Now we generally try to keep them in the same industry. So it might be helping out with a clinical side or document side, and then others. So they're probably not going as wide of swath as chemicals to healthcare. But the truth of the matter is there's two, and I've been doing this for 35 years, is there's two truths. One, every conversation is the 80-20 rule. Percent of the questions have to do with 20% of the knowledge. So you identify what that 20% of the knowledge is and you train on that, and that's going to cover 80% of the questions. In addition to that, every human interaction is 80% the same, whether you're talking about chemicals or whether you're talking about healthcare. It has to do with the trust, it has to do with answering the questions and things like that. So you've just eliminated if you do 80 to the square root, you've just eliminated 90% of what needs to be known with 10% of information. And then now the world we're living in now, Jeff, there is technology, AI, that is listening to the conversation and can do what we call agent assist. So if there's things out there, it can be out there pulling up knowledge bases. It can be feeding you information. So as you were talking about agrochemicals, if you got a little bit deeper and you were talking about, fertilizer for a cornfield, literally the AI could listen to those keywords and could pull up different documents that the agent might need if something falls outside that 80-20 rule. And then as you're getting deeper into that conversation and saying, I live in South Dakota, my growing season is this. Last year I had soybeans in that field. This is the type of planter I use. I really only like to fertilize once throughout the course of the year. All of that will be read, and to the agent might be one answer that will be, Jeff, this is the fertilizer that you need, or it might be a variety of additional questions that, okay, Jeff, I think I pretty much know what you need. I do have a couple of different questions. Has it been a dry season or a wet season? And then you'd go from there. Yeah.
So back in my earlier days, I was a disc jockey, and we'd do all this. We called it show prep. And we have a guy said, Jeff. They want to know the time and they want to know the temperature. Stop with the other stuff, time and temperature, sort of your 80-20.
Well, and
So,
that's actually what we found too, is a lot of times when we do head-to-head tests, people that know just enough to be dangerous are actually better because the customers they're talking to aren't experts. So if you're talking to an agri person and they're an expert, they almost look at you like your question is stupid. But you're the customer. You